Good morning. Welcome to Journey with the Josies. This is the start of episode 8. We are headed to Idaho.
And looking forward to sharing it with you. And we hope to find lots of waterfalls and lakes and beautiful scenery in Idaho and prove to you there's more there than just potatoes. That morning we embarked on our longest RV journey yet, a 2,000-mile, 2-week trip to several stops in Idaho. Leg 1 of our journey was to head north on I-5, then east on Interstate 80, stopping in Winnemucca, Nevada for a night of rest. All right, if we look tired, it's been a long day. It's hot outside. Welcome to Winnemucca. It's hot outside. We've had a few minor calamities. We really haven't gotten much done here in the last hour.
And after how many months?
Well, it was November when I broke it.
Since November when he broke the chair, it is finally repaired. It can turn around.
Back in business.
And be part of the conversation. After a relaxing stay in Winnemucca, we prepared ourselves for a long drive from Winnemucca, Nevada to Boise, Idaho, where we went to the airport and picked up a rental car. And then we continued on for another couple hours to the Village of the Trees RV park.
Picking up the car at Boise Airport gave us more flexibility on our trip so that we could see things where the RV would not be able to go.
First time to Oregon ever.
The road's bumpy.
And I expected Oregon to be green and raining. But obviously, this is one other part of Oregon.
Arrived.
This famous Snake River, which we will see many times on this trip. Look at that interesting mountain.
Our destination that day was the Village of the Trees RV park, which was located several miles east of Twin Falls, Idaho.
So when we arrived at Village of the Trees, what were your first impressions?
Well, it lived up to its title. After driving along the interstate, which was kind of barren, the minute we got off the freeway and got into that RV park, the scenery just changed completely. You had the Snake River right there flowing, and then you had all these trees and a well-maintained, beautiful RV park.
I agree, and the people there were really nice and helpful as well. p.m.
All right, here we are, sunset.
Oh, we're talking.
We're on video.
I didn't know what we were doing.
Sunset here in what town is this? Declo, Idaho, Village of the Trees. Beautiful evening. It went from 100 degrees and all of a sudden it's dropped instantly down to about 80 something.
Yeah, if not lower.
Just like all of a sudden. Right here on the Snake River.
Leaving Banbury Springs dock, heading up the Snake River. So on our first full day in Idaho, we decided to explore the Twin Falls area. Our first stop was to rent a kayak and paddle up the Snake River to an area called Blue Heart Springs. And Blue Heart Springs is a natural spring water oasis that you can only get to by water transportation. So it wasn't very crowded.
Notice I'm letting her do all the work. Keep going. You're doing great. Did you bring any beer?
The sky and I got this relief inside. Then there's no need to hide. I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up.
And as you can see in the video, the water is extremely blue, almost where it looked fake, like it was created as it would be created in Disneyland.
It's about a 45-minute paddle ride up the Snake River, and once we were there, we were the only ones in there for a little while, which just made it extra special. And when we did finally get off the shore to have some lunch, we put our feet in the water, and it was pretty cold. How was the temperature, you think, in the water?
Apparently it's like 58 degrees pretty much all the time, even on the hottest days.
Looking on the city lights, flashing bright in my eyes.
After a very relaxing morning there at Blue Heart Springs, we had heard from some other YouTubers about a really great ice cream shop in a neighboring town, so we ventured over there next to Cloverleaf Creamery.
Tell me what you're eating.
Salted caramel on top, and then I have a lemon custard down below. Haven't gotten to that yet. So far, very, very good.
So after we finished up at the Cloverleaf Creamery, we went over to the Twin Falls Visitor Center, and there stood the Perrine Bridge. It is 1,500 feet long. It's the 8th tallest bridge in the United States, and it spans the Snake River.
And just a few hundred yards down from the bridge is where in 1974 Evel Knievel attempted his historic jump over the bridge, but fell short that day. So after visiting the Perrine Bridge, we headed a couple miles away to another part of Twin Falls, to what is probably the showcase of the Twin Falls area, and that is Hoshone Falls. It is called the Niagara Falls of the West, and boy did it not disappoint. The Hoshone Falls is over 200 feet in height, and it's actually 45 feet higher than Niagara Falls.
So we probably stayed at Hoshone Falls for about 30 minutes, just enjoying the grandeur of it all. Drove around the park a little bit, and then we made our way over to the next attraction that probably was one of our highlights of the trip. This is how you normally see a waterfall. Wait till you see how we saw a waterfall. This is the Perrine Cooley Falls. It's a 200-foot waterfall, and it's just feet off of the main road.
Many people drive right by this waterfall, not realizing this exists just right around the corner. We enjoyed this spot so much that several days later, as we were leaving town, we swung back by here and did this again.
What are you doing?
Whatever
Smells
you tell me
good.
to. Whatever you tell me to.
That's true, and it smells amazing.
Browning sausages that we got at the Lockerford meat market. So I can't wait to try these.
What
Using
kind?
the new Blackstone grill. I don't know what kind of sausage they are.
Hot Italian sausage, I believe.
And then we're going to be throwing some more cabbage in, onion,
Carrots,
What
garlic.
What is the ultimate goal here? What are we making?
A southern dish of sausage and cabbage, basically. Chef Josie, that looks pretty impressive.
Lynn, I'm cooking cabbage. It's something I've never done in my life.
And we haven't even eaten it much in our life, but it sounded really good, so we'll see. Final step. Mixing it all together.
Go for it.
Ooh, might have been a lot.
As that night came to an end, we were graced with just an amazing Idaho sunset.
So on Saturday morning, after breakfast, we took a ride out to a state park and we ate some lunch. And then we went to a site near where the Oregon Trail was, that apparently the Snake River is forced through a passage of less than 40 feet wide, which then results in a really spectacular waterfall. And this place is called Cauldron Lynn. So we're on our second full day in southern Idaho, and we're on the pursuit of different waterfalls. We saw two beautiful ones yesterday, and some other smaller ones. And then today, we found this one called Cauldron Lynn, and it is beautiful, but apparently it's only a fraction of what it's supposed to be, or what it could be. They turn it down for irrigation purposes May 31st, so we missed it by about 5 days. But as you can see, it is still quite powerful and beautiful. Found it.
Well, it was very impressive being there a few feet above the water. We were told by others that frequent the area that the water was not flowing nearly to its full potential, which would have made it even more dramatic to see.
So that night we wanted to experience the local cuisine, so we went to a recommended restaurant called Steve-O's, where we got to try Idaho potatoes, which were delicious, and as an added benefit, they had live music, which, as you know, in 2021 is very rare. Steve Spud or
Steve-O's Spud. It's a potato with mushrooms, jalapeno, and cheddar cheese.
sauce, grilled onions. So on Sunday, we finally just had a day that we hung around the campground. Started off with Stu cooking an amazing breakfast on the Blackstone. Then we watched church on TV, and we exercised, and we drove around some of the neighborhoods in the area to see the different homes. Came back later, and Stu cooked another amazing meal on the Blackstone. This time it was salmon. And then we ended going down by the river and watching the sunset.
4 nights of staying in the Twin Falls area, it was time on Monday morning to depart and head towards the Boise area. But before we got to Boise, we wanted to make another stop in the region and check out Malad Gorge. This is a beautiful 250-foot deep canyon with the Snake River running through it, which is adjacent to the main interstate.
One of the coolest things to me was when we were driving along the interstate and you just happened to glance over and it's like the ground just fell out, and 250 feet down is this gorge with the waterfall or waterfalls. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm really glad I brought my drone to this area because I was able to get it down in the canyon and see the waterfall, and then off in the distance we spotted another very tall waterfall that we had to go explore in person. Looks like a standard irrigation ditch. Goes from this to
So thanks for watching our first video on our June trip to Idaho. We will have 2 more videos to put out shortly that will show you some more scenic RV parks. We're going to explore downtown Boise. We go wine tasting. We're going to do some fine dining. We go way out in the wilderness in central Idaho to a beautiful river. And we explore the beauty of McCall and the Payette Lake.